Hey, Chinese One guys, how you doing out there? We're going to continue on with our scene one, table for two lesson. We're going to go on to the next language point now, and the key phrase is the key point of this lesson is saying please, being polite in Chinese, very important. I think I probably mentioned this many times, but just today's review will be all about being polite. And just a reminder of how that's done in the video. Here's Wang Ming and the waitress, and she asks him how many people, right? 几位? And he says 2位. And then she says,
两位，好，这边请。
she says 这边请 this way, please. 请. So we want to always be aware of our politeness in studying Chinese. So I'm going to focus on the 请 today, right? 请. So here it is in our handout. If you have your handout open in another screen, you can take a look at it, or if you've printed it out, it's right below the next section. Remember, we were talking about 这边, 那边, 这位老师, 这个同学, right? So this and that, right? So we're going to pick it up from there. 那边请, 这边请, the waitress says, 这边请, this way, please. So here's a couple of ways that please is used quite a lot in Chinese. The first way, very important. The first one, number one, 请问, 请问, right? 请问, 请问, excuse me, right? Or may I ask? Like you want to interrupt somebody to get some information. 请问, may I ask? Excuse me? 请问. Another way might be if you want somebody to give you something, maybe they have a pencil or you want them to hand you something from far away. 请, again, we'll start with 请, please, and then 给我, give me, 给我, please give me, 给我, right? And then number three, please say it again, right? When you're speaking in a foreign language and you're just starting out, you don't often catch everything. So you might want to say to your Chinese person that's talking to you, 请, please, 再说一次. 再说一次. Please, again, say it one time. 请再说一次. 请再说一次. Please repeat that, or please say it again. 请再说一次. Right? Or I think we've probably already learned this somewhere along the line. Please speak slower. Right? You want to be polite, but you want to get that sentence, get that Chinese spoken a little slower. So, 请, right? 请, right here. Please. 慢点. Slower. 说, speak. 请慢点说. 请慢点说. Please speak slower. Right? All starting with the word please, 请. Now in the waitress's sentence, she says 这边请. Just like we would do in English, she puts the 请 in the end. This way, please. But a lot of the time your questions will start with 请, right? Just like they do in English. So, 请问, 请给我, 请再说一次, 请慢慢说. Right? So we're going to do an exercise just practicing politeness. So what I want you to do is, first of all, we're going to go over these words to do the next exercise. So we need the word for street in this exercise. So that word is 街, right? 街. So we need this word. Where is something? 在哪儿? Now this 在哪儿 is going to go at the end of the sentence in Chinese. So if you're asking where is Bard, you're going to say 巴德在哪儿？巴德在哪儿？ Or Lavelle 老师在哪儿? Where is Mr. Lavelle? Right? So 街 is pretty straightforward. It's used just like in English. Like if you wanted to say Main Street, 主要街, right? Main Street, 主街. Where is something? 巴德在哪儿? Where is Bard? 巴德在哪儿? You need the word for quiet. We may have learned this already, but the word for quiet, 安静, right? In other words, you want people to be quiet. No, don't be so noisy. 安静, right? So how would you tell someone to please be quiet, right? 请安静, right? You're going to need to use the word to sit. So sit is 坐, right? 坐. So how would you ask politely for someone to sit? You can do that right now. You don't need me to teach you that. You just use the word for please and the word for sit, right? And we're going to need this word here, a newly arrived classmate, in this practice lesson. So newly arrived is 新来的, not newcomed, and then 同学, classmate, 同学, 新来的同学, newly arrived classmate, 新来的同学, right? 新来的同学. So just to recap on that, the word we're focusing on today is 请 for please. And here's some of the common uses of please. 请问, excuse me, 请给我, 请再说一次, 请慢点说, please speak slower, right? And then the words we need to do our practice with 请 are these right here, right? The word for street, the word for where, the word for quiet, sit, and newly arrived classmates. So I'm going to put these exercises over into the assignment section. So I'd like you to figure out how you're going to handle these situations. You're on the streets of Beijing, you're lost, and you need to find Wang Fujing Street in Beijing. It's a very famous street there. So think about how you would set that up if you needed to get there really badly. You'd have to stop someone on the street and you'd have to say, excuse me. And then you'd have to say, where is Wang Fujing Street, right? So you'd have to say, excuse me, Wang Fujing Street is where? And how would you do that in Chinese? Now you need to politely ask your classmates to be quiet. How are you going to do that? It's getting too noisy in the class, right? So that the teacher's trying to teach and you can't hear them. So what would you say politely to your classmates to get them to be quiet? You have a new Chinese friend. He's speaking way too fast, though. And if he would only slow down, you might be able to understand him. So what would you say to him, right? In this one, you didn't understand what your friend just said and you want him to repeat, right? So if he just could repeat it, maybe you'll get it. So how do you get somebody to, how do you politely get to somebody to repeat themselves in Chinese, right? Your teacher asked the class to sit down politely. What would you hear in a Chinese class? Please sit down, right? And your teacher asked the class to welcome a new classmate. So the teacher might say to everybody in the class, please welcome our new classmate. So you need the word for please, the word for welcome, which you already know from up above, and then new classmate, which I just taught you up on top here. So by the time you get to the end of this activity, you'll be really able to remember to use this word please, 请, in a lot of different situations. Because if you don't use it, it sounds like a demand and very rude, right? So I'm going to get used to it, especially us as foreigners in China. We want to be able to be polite. And that you can get a lot done if you just smile and be polite, right? So I'm going to go ahead and put this exercise over in the assignment section, and you can get to work on it. I really like the way some people are writing it out on paper and then taking a picture of it and sending it up, because I can see the tones there. And that's, remember, tones are super important in Chinese. So that's why I like the paper version a lot better. So keep doing that if you're doing that now. It looks good. Okay. I guess I have my what do you call it, coach class on Zoom on Wednesday. So I'll be there at 1:30 if anybody wants to come around and ask any questions or just speak a little Chinese or something with me. I'll be there at 1:30 on Wednesday. That's about it for today. So good luck with this, and catch up with you in the next lesson. See you later.